The moon where we both fell in love. My mind's awake, I feel so alive.
Good morning. It is 5:25, Wednesday, the 1st of July 2026. We're in Dubai. So, did a lot of work last night on trying to figure out my zone 2s. Basically trying to calculate what the zones should be, my heart rate zones. So yes, I took a lot of time last night trying to calculate what my actual heart rate zones are. And I think there's 3 ways of doing this. One, you can calculate it, and I'd say I did it through AI, but it will need your age, it will need your gender. Well, I think gender's not important, but it'll need your resting heart rate. So it calculates it from your lowest heart rate upwards. Another method for doing it is calculating it downwards from your maximum heart rate. And then a third method is your relative heart rate, which is the difference between the two. And from what I understand, that's the more accurate one. So I put in my age, 55, my resting heart rate, which I think is 46, which is really good. And then I put in my maximum heart rate, which is 156, and it went away and calculated what my actual zones are, and there was a slight difference to be actually easier to get to zone 2. Now this isn't lowering the bar. The Whoop system used to reduce and increase. The Whoop system itself used to increase and automatically increase and decrease your zones. And I don't think the Garmin does that, I certainly haven't turned that option off, and I was never really comfortable with it. And the reason being is that occasionally a heart rate sensor, can get an unusual reading. I think I've mentioned this in the past, but once I was at an event where I was clapping, and I wasn't doing any kind of exercise, I was just simply clapping, and the heart rate monitor picked it up as breakdancing and a heart rate of over 170 something, which it wasn't. You know, my heart rate was normal. So you have to be careful with heart rate monitors. They sometimes do give false readings, and my heart rate monitor over the last few months has picked up 2 anonymous readings, which if you take it out, it gives a better average of your heart rate, and that's what I was able to use to calculate my max heart rate. And I've put that in. So today's mission is to try and get to zone 2 and stay in zone 2 for the vast majority of the ride. It's going to be a quick one today, so catch the data later after the ride, after this short montage, in about a minute's time.
Don't call me now, 'cause I'm better off without you. I don't need you around, don't need no one to calm me down. See your name, light up my phone, 4 a.m. and you all alone, and nothing changed, you said
So to give you some example of what I'm talking about with my heart rate monitor, you can see here there's a blue 116. That shows that I'm in zone 2 for my heart rate. So I've just finished my ride, and that's 52 minutes, 20.8 kilometers, and I'll look at the data on this. That was 34 minutes in zone 2 of my heart rate. About 20 minutes between zone 3 and zone 4 in terms of my pedaling, but 13 minutes in zone 1. Now I think the hot spot for me is zone 2, zone 3 and zone 4. So zone 2 for my power was 6 minutes, zone 3 was 10 minutes, and zone 4 was also 10 minutes. So I'd say the vast majority of the ride was in a good zone for power and for my for my heart. Now I've changed the heart rate. Let's stop this now. So I've just saved the ride because I don't want to get the bit where I'm just coasting, because this is now cool down. I've done my ride. So I've as I said at the start of the video, I've changed my heart rate zones, and it's kind of made them easier but more manageable. So basically it almost dropped at zone, and the reason being is my heart rate was being based on 175 as my highest, but literally that is probably a sensor blip. It probably didn't get to 175, so it's completely inaccurate. My heart rate, I think max heart rate was 156. Commonly it's 156. So I've set it to 156, and that's brought the zones down. So when I'm riding in zone 2 now, what I was riding in is zone 1, which kind of makes sense. In terms of how did it feel, you can see I'm sweating and I'm tired. It did feel like a good ride, but mentally it did a lot of good because I was in that blue zone for my heart rate. I was able to monitor my cadence and, more importantly, my power. My cadence is usually quite good. It's usually around 80 when I'm actually pedaling and on the main track, and it's safe to do so. It's commonly around 80 or above, but my power does drop off quite a bit. Like now it's going to be 0, but the system's not capturing this data. So it's going to be interesting to see what my normalized power was, because I think it was fairly good. I think it was I'm hoping it was above 165, which is what it commonly is, which would mean that I put a lot of power into this ride, or more power than usual, which is a good thing. But I don't know, I'm dealing with a lot of data, a lot of variables, but I feel better, and it's coming up now with an exercise load as low, so I don't know. I'll see I'm going to keep these zones up until the holiday, at least for the next 10 days, and see how it goes. During the ride, I kept it at the upper threshold of zone 2 and went into what I'm calling zone 3 now a couple of times, but not much. So it feels right, but I don't know, it's difficult. Another variable is that my watch keeps on telling me I'm just maintaining. It's not productive, and it's been doing that now for since the weather changed, and I'm able not to drive. I'm able not to cycle to distances, to higher distances. I'm not making any sense. So I know that it's more difficult to cycle in this heat. It really is. But the data just doesn't seem to make sense to me. I think, in fairness, that zone 2 is the upper threshold is just about right. The lower threshold is too low. You know, I got into it at 1:14, and I was quite shocked because I didn't feel my heart rate was in zone 2. It just felt like a strong walk. But I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it specifically and target to me getting to the upper levels of zone 2, which is about 124, and try and maintain that 124 area. And that's the plan for tomorrow. Same again. Consistency.